Hello, in this video we will discuss about the exercise as well as chronic adaptation after the exercise within the 3 to 4 week duration. So the chronic exercise will lead to adapt after a 3 to 4 week duration due to the epigenetic as well as the number of mitochondria increase. So what is the meaning of this? First of all, we will understand about the introduction. So this is the cell which that contain, for example, one mitochondria. A mitochondria is the organelle can divide itself, and less oxygen due to the requirement of the oxygen will more, so the mitochondria is less and ATP will produce less, but glycolysis will produce ATP less. So in this way, the DNA epigenetic mutation due to the Krebs cycle decrease will lead to increase the synthesis as well as the number of mitochondria division will more, while the adaptation will lead to 3 times more ATP production as well as the oxygen which their consumption will increase also. Due to the adaptation, we will discuss whole in this video. So in this way, here is the growth hormone which that will increase the size of the cell due to the increase of the mitochondria and increase the 6 times more ATP production, and Krebs cycle double will due to the consumption of oxygen, and the glucose will produce the glycogen synthesis after the rest during the rest. So the more metabolism increase. Well, let's begin to understand. This is a person during the exercise. Here is a muscle fiber which that consume the oxygen and glucose to produce the carbon dioxide and proton into the cell, into the blood circulatory system. So blood vessel supplying active skeletal muscle fibers. So in this way, this is the directly changes of the physiology we will discuss. So the vasodilator signaling increase, while this is a vasodilation increase area for more blood flow. So the nitric oxide and epinephrine release and synthesis more, and sympathetic nervous system activation. So anyhow, the next is the angiogenesis formation. The meaning of angiogenesis is the number of blood vessel the capillary will increase is known as the angiogenesis. So the angiogenesis is due to the increase the blood capillary for more blood flow to supply oxygen and use and absorb the carbon dioxide. Perfusion increase will lead to exhalation. So the respiration for aerobic respires is important. So it will increase. So the capillary perfusion increase because the surface area increase, the more surface area of the blood vessel due to the angiogenesis, and the vasodilation is also occur. It means the increase of the surface area, and breathing as well as consumption of oxygen is very easy and into the blood circulatory system. So the capillary density aerobically more than the resistance training. So that is why this is the adaptation. And after this, also a cellular pathway which that will lead to insulin increase, phosphoinositide 3 kinase signaling due to the glucose uptake increase and metabolism increase. When insulin will bind with the receptor, insulin receptor, so the insulin receptor substrate activation via a phosphorylation in the intracellularly, while the extracellularly the dimeric subunit of the receptor containing insulin bind the tyrosine receptor. In this, the phosphoinositide 3 kinase activation to AKT kinase activated kinase T activation lead to endothelium and skeletal muscle target. In this way, this is the endothelium, for example, and skeletal muscle cell. So it will increase the nitric oxide synthase enzyme and glycogen synthase kinase 3, which that increase the GLUT4 channel for the glycogen synthesis due to the influx of the glucose into the muscle cell. So anyway, here is the whole body exercise indirect effect and combine the aerobic and resistance training and modulate exercise mode intensity to increase the skeletal muscle fibers and recruitment. So in this way, the indirect effect will occur. In this way, the indirect effect is basically that was the direct, but this is the indirect also due to these things. And in this way, the blood glucose decreased during the exercise, and the hemoglobin A1C will also decrease, will lead to increase the insulin and the decrease the blood glucose level during the exercise, and it will indirect effect. And in this way, the pancreas will produce the insulin for what? For the influx of the glucose into the tissue for consumption to produce more ATP as a increased catabolism, and glycogenolysis also occur, and micro complication decrease. What that means? The micro complication in the eye, which that will be decreased rather than increase. So anyhow, this is the adaptation we had discussed during the exercise chronically again and again in every day. So let's begin to understand the major mechanism. When glucose are present in the blood circulatory system, will move by the binding of the insulin or insulin-like growth factor to create the GLUT4 channel. After the GLUT4 channel creation, the glucose hyperglycemia will decrease and hypoglycemia will occur, and the glucose move into the every type of cell, for example brain cell, muscle cell, and RBC, WBC, every. So in this way, the mitochondria are present, which that the decrease of the oxygen due to the requirement of the oxygen will be more, so we have not adapted still. So in this way, it is the initial phase. So the glucose will convert into the pyruvate, but the pyruvate used in the presence of the oxygen, the aerobically oxidative phosphorylation will inhibit in the mitochondria less, and lactate production, the lactic acid fermentation to produce and cause fatigue. And this lactate also trigger the DNA to epigenetic mutation will lead to synthesis of more protein and increase the size of the cell for increasing of the mitochondria. And the lactic acid also go into the blood circulatory system will lead to lactic acidosis, and the passage of time, the adaptation via a mitochondria triple, the more mitochondria production due to the division of the mitochondria, and increase the oxygen availability. How it is possible? That is the major thing you should need to understand, because the increase of the alveoli also, and increase the diaphragm, and increase the respiration and get the stamina. So effect on different organs we will discuss so we can understand easily. So this is the lipolysis, and metabolism will increase double, and blood flow can be increased or decreased. But the free fatty acid, the lipolysis will increase. In this way, the free fatty acid is used, and the fat loss. While in the case of liver, the metabolism will increase and synthesis and breakdown, which that increase, and the blood flow into the liver will decrease. While the digestive system, the stomach is here, and pancreas, so the pancreas, gut, and kidney also lead to increased metabolism possibly, and possibly the blood flow will decrease. While in the case of, if we will discuss about the bones, so the mechanical strain will increase double, and the blood flow can be fluctuate, but also increase to the bone marrow to synthesis more the stem cell, and release of stem cell and proliferate and increase the immunity and double. So that is why the exercise is very important for the maintain of health. While on the other hand, the muscle will inflate, and muscle will turgid due to the metabolism and blood flow increase, and in this way the mechanical strain will increase and the vasodilation also increase. But remember that thing, the glycogenesis and glycogenolysis during the exercise, while the glycogen during the rest time will increase. So the neural activity and blood flow, the neural activity can be increased or decreased, blood flow fluctuate in the brain and nervous system, and blood distribution increase and the metabolism will fluctuate. While the ventilation, gas exchange and blood flow will be more and more, and blood distribution will basically possibly increase. While in the heart, which that the cardiac output will increase 3 times, and coronary blood flow 3 times, oxygen consumption 3 times, and blood flow distribution possibly increase, and hemoglobin concentration and oxygen content and ATP will increase, will lead to easy adaptation and the lactate production inhibition mechanism, because the lactate is causing the fatigue. So that is why the gradually we can adapt and we will feel free from the lactic acid fatigue. So we will not feel the fatigue after the adaptation in 3 to 4 weeks, but the 3 day is enough to adapt normally. So thanks for watching this video about the exercise and chronic adaptation, and I hope you make sense. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share, and give the comment below for understanding better, and I will make another video during the exercise, the